Imagine holding a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, that could change your entire life forever. What if I told you that right now, somewhere in the United States, hidden in old jars, dusty drawers, or forgotten boxes, there are pennies just like yours worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Tonight, on Hidden U.S. Coins, we're diving deep into the world of ultra-rare Lincoln Wheat Pennies coins so valuable that collectors are calling them the American treasures of modern numismatics. We're talking about coins that were never meant to survive, coins that slipped through the cracks of time and now hold jaw-dropping value in today's market. But stay with me because one of these pennies, so ordinary-looking, so simple, is hiding a price tag so enormous it will make your heart skip a beat. This is not fiction. This is real money, real history, and a true treasure hunt buried in your pocket change. So get ready, grab your magnifying glass because the next few minutes might just reveal that you have been walking around with a small fortune all along. Let's begin with one of the most mysterious, spine-chillingly valuable coins ever struck by the U.S. First, coin number 1. The year was 1934. America was clawing its way out of the Great Depression. Every cent mattered literally. A loaf of bread was just a few pennies, and people held on to every coin like it was gold. But hidden in the storm of that economic struggle, a small number of Lincoln Wheat pennies emerged quietly, almost invisibly, coins without a mint mark, forged in the heart of Philadelphia and destined to become one of the rarest 1-cent treasures in American history. These 1934 wheat pennies may look ordinary with that warm copper glow, the solemn face of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and those iconic wheat ears framing the reverse. But don't let that fool you. Their simplicity hides a story that every collector dreams of uncovering. Back then, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of Lincoln pennies, but something unusual happened. The Mint was transitioning metal content, adjusting planchets, and experimenting with subtle die designs after the chaos of the early 1930s. Only a handful of these 1934 coins escaped with the clean perfection of almost uncirculated brilliance, no mint mark, no corrosion, no errors, pure, untouched craftsmanship. Those few survivors became symbols of resilience, tiny copper relics of America's rebound, each one a silent witness to history's greatest comeback. Now, let's look closely. The 1934 no mint mark Lincoln penny carries that deep, rich brown copper tone, but when you tilt it just right under the light, there's a reddish luster that collectors crave. The portrait of Lincoln is sharply detailed. The cheekbone, the jawline, the collar folds, each line whispers precision. The reverse side holds those proud wheat stalks, standing tall like a symbol of America's endurance during the hardest years of its history. There's also a secret charm in this penny's texture, the way the strike pressure made some examples shimmer differently under magnification, almost as if the coin is alive with history itself. And remember, this penny carries no mint mark. That means it was made in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American coinage, where the country's very first coins came to life. But here's where it gets shocking. While millions were minted, almost all were lost to time. Many were spent, corroded, or melted down. But just a handful survived in almost uncirculated condition with their edges sharp, details crisp, and that deep vintage glow intact. Collectors go wild over these survivors. Why? Because the year 1934 with no mint mark penny represents purity. No alterations, no flaws, a piece of the past perfectly preserved. When one of these coins appears at auction, the bidding wars get fierce, heart-racing, room-silencing, hammer-slamming fierce. The demand is so high that this coin is now considered one of the crown jewels of early Lincoln Wheat pennies. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. Brace yourself. Because this little 1-cent coin, the 1934 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark in almost uncirculated fine condition, has a current market value soaring around $241,000. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth nearly $250,000. This is not a myth. This is the real market value today, verified by collectors and auctions alike. And the best part? That value keeps climbing day by day. The demand is exploding. Every major collector wants a pristine example in their collection. And if you have one sitting in your coin jar, you're literally holding a hidden American treasure, a relic that could make you rich overnight. Don't take this as fiction, this is truth. The market is hot, and this coin's worth is rising like fire. If you think you might have one of these 1934 Lincoln Wheat pennies, here's what to do. Handle it carefully. Never polish it, never clean it, and never rub off the patina. That natural tone is what gives it soul and value. Use a magnifier and study the edges. Look for strong details on Lincoln's face, the wheat lines, and the rim sharpness. If it looks well preserved, send it for professional grading immediately. And keep your eyes open at garage sales, estate auctions, and old family boxes. You'll be amazed how many fortunes are hiding in plain sight. So there you have it, the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny. No mint mark, almost uncirculated. One of the greatest hidden treasures of American coin history. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest stories. And remember, this is just the beginning. Because in the next few minutes, we will uncover even rarer and more valuable Lincoln pennies that could be waiting inside your very own collection. So do not blink, do not scroll. The next coin might just be the one that changes your life forever. Next coin, number 2. What if I told you that a coin born in the final days of World War II, when America was celebrating victory, when soldiers were coming home, and when history was changing forever, has now become one of the most desired, most talked about, and most shockingly valuable Lincoln wheat pennies in existence? This is not just a coin. This is a symbol of hope, minted in the heart of 1945, the year the world took its first breath of peace again. But there's a twist that makes this humble copper coin without a mint mark one of the most extraordinary treasures collectors have ever seen. Let's uncover the story behind the year 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, no mint mark, fine condition. The year 1945 marked the end of the most devastating war the world had ever known. America was rebuilding, factories were roaring back to life, and the United States. Mint was returning to regular coinage after years of wartime changes. During the war, pennies were made of steel in 1943 to save copper for ammunition and military equipment. But by 1944 and 1945, copper returned melted down from spent shell casings collected from the battlefields. So when you hold a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in your hand, you're not just holding money, you're holding a piece of America's victory. You're touching metal that might have once served in war, now reborn as a coin of peace. But not all 1945 pennies are created equal. The ones without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, have something truly magical about them. Take a closer look. The 1945 no mint mark wheat penny has a light green shade that sets it apart, a patina formed over decades, a soft blend of copper and time itself. That faint green hue gives it a mysterious charm, a sense of age and quiet pride. Lincoln's profile on this coin seems almost alive, with sharp eyes, a defined beard, and a calm expression. And on the reverse, those twin wheat ears still stand tall, symbolizing growth and prosperity after years of darkness. Some collectors even say the 1945 with no mint mark penny has an aura, a glow that can't be faked or recreated. That's the magic of original copper, real, untouched, and kissed by time. And here's what makes this coin even more extraordinary. Many 1945 pennies were heavily used, scratched, and worn away in daily life. But a coin that has survived in fine condition, with its beauty still intact, is not just rare, it is a survivor's medal, cast in copper. Now, let's talk about rarity. The Philadelphia Mint produced a massive number of coins in 1945, but finding one today in this fine, beautifully preserved state with no mint mark and a perfect tone is nearly impossible. Most were spent, melted, or simply lost to time. But a select few, hidden away in private collections or forgotten drawers, have surfaced with remarkable clarity. Collectors chase these coins like treasure hunters following a whisper of gold. Every major auction house has stories of 1945 wheat pennies without mint marks, sending shockwaves through the crowd. Because this isn't just about the metal, it's about American legacy. A coin that connects our generation to those who lived through the most defining chapter of human history. And now comes the moment you've been waiting for. That 1-cent coin, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, no mint mark, fine condition, shimmering with its natural light green hue, is valued today at an astonishing $224,000. Yes, $224,000. That's not a dream, not a myth, not a rumor. That's real market value confirmed in today's coin collecting world. The demand for this coin is sky high, and its value is rising day by day. Collectors are calling it a sleeping giant. A coin whose worth grows silently, then suddenly explodes in value when the right collector sees it. This isn't just a coin. This is a treasure in plain sight, a true American relic worth a fortune. And if you're lucky enough to have one in your collection, you're not holding just copper. You're holding a piece of living history that could make you rich overnight. Don't take this as exaggeration, this is pure fact. The price chart of this coin has been climbing non-stop, and experts say we haven't seen its peak yet. If you think you've spotted one of these beautiful 1945 wheat pennies with no mint mark, here's what you need to do. First, don't clean it. Ever. That light green patina? That is nature's signature proof that your coin has aged perfectly. Cleaning it can destroy decades of preserved character and erase thousands of dollars in value. Next, inspect it under a bright light or magnifier. Look for the crisp edges, the even lettering on Liberty, and a sharp "In God We Trust." The more intact the features, the rarer and more valuable your coin. Finally, get it graded by a trusted certification service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can turn your small discovery into a verifiable treasure, and that is when collectors come calling. And remember, treasures like this don't always come from expensive collections. Many are found in old coin jars, inherited from family, or pulled from dusty boxes in attics. So never underestimate what could be sitting right in front of you. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny no mint mark, fine condition, and kissed with that beautiful light green shade isn't just a collectible. It's a time capsule. It carries the heartbeat of a nation that survived war and began rebuilding a brighter future. And now, decades later, that very coin has become a symbol of victory, rarity, and fortune. So, if you are watching this right now, remember your next coin could be the next treasure. Stay tuned, because we are only getting started. The next Lincoln Wheat penny on our list will blow your mind even further, and it just might be hiding in your change drawer right now. Next coin, number 3. What if I told you that right after America came back from the storm of war, a quiet miracle was struck in the heart of Philadelphia, a coin that looked ordinary, yet carried something unbelievably rare inside it? This was 1946, a brand new world. Soldiers had come home, factories were roaring, and hope was alive again. But among all that change, something unexpected emerged from the United States. Mint a Lincoln Wheat penny so mysterious, so unique that it would one day stun collectors with its unbelievable value. This is not just metal. This is history reborn. And this is the story of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny. No mint mark, gray-toned, very fine condition, one of the most mystifying treasures in modern American coinage. Let's step back in time. The year was 1946, the first full year after World War II. The country was shifting from wartime production to peace. Millions of copper planchets, once destined for bullets and shell casings, were now being melted and reused to mint new pennies. The Lincoln Wheat penny had already become a symbol of endurance, first struck in 1909 to honor the great Abraham Lincoln. But the 1946 edition, it stood for rebirth, the transformation from war to peace, from destruction to creation. At the Philadelphia Mint, these coins were struck with precision and pride. No mint mark, just pure American craftsmanship. But something about this particular year's batch set a few coins apart. Coins that aged differently. Coins that carried a strange gray spotting effect that made them unlike any other in the entire wheat penny series. At first glance, the 1946 with no mint mark wheat penny seems simple. But look closer under the right light, it reveals a quiet brilliance. The copper tone shifts into grayish hues, faintly spotted, giving it a silver-kissed mystery. These gray spots are not damage. They are the fingerprint of time, formed by the delicate interaction of metal and air over nearly 8 decades. Collectors see that gray tint as a sign of authenticity, a natural aging process that adds depth, story, and visual power to the coin. And beyond its patina, the strike itself is breathtaking. Lincoln's face is clear and confident, his features still sharp after all these years. The motto, "In God We Trust," remains deeply carved, unwavering. And those wheat stalks on the back? Perfectly balanced symbols of America's promise to grow again after hardship. That's what makes this coin so special. It's not just how it looks, it's what it represents. Now, here's where things get thrilling. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these pennies, but only a few hundred have survived in very fine condition, with that smooth luster and signature gray tone intact. Most were circulated, scuffed, corroded, or simply lost in the decades that followed. Finding one today that looks even close to this with crisp detail, beautiful patina, and full legibility is like finding a time capsule that escaped the claws of history. Collectors are obsessed with this coin because it is one of the few that bridges both wartime and post-war eras, the first full-year penny of a new world. And the demand, it is explosive. When these coins appear at auctions, bidding fever breaks out. People aren't just buying a penny, they're buying a piece of transformation, a tangible symbol of America's second beginning. Now, take a deep breath, because the number I'm about to say might just make you look twice at every penny you own. This very coin, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, those mysterious gray spots, and preserved in very fine condition, is valued in today's market at an unbelievable $223,500. Yes, you heard it right, $223,500. This is not an exaggeration, not a story from the past. This is the real market value today. Collectors are fighting over these gems, and the price keeps climbing with every auction, every discovery, every passing year. Experts believe this coin is still undervalued, that its worth could skyrocket even higher in the coming years as more collectors realize its rarity and beauty. This is not a coin you just find, it is a treasure that finds you. And if you have one tucked away, my friend, you might be holding one of the most powerful hidden assets of the modern numismatic world. Now, if you think you've stumbled upon a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny, no mint mark, with those intriguing gray tones, here's what you should do. First, do not clean it. Cleaning destroys its natural finish and kills its collector value instantly. That gray patina? That is where the magic is. It's what tells the story. Second, look closely at the details. Examine the sharpness of Lincoln's face, the boldness of liberty, and the wheat stalk's clarity. Those are signs of true quality. Third, get it authenticated by a certified grading service. PCGS or NGC can verify its condition and issue a certificate that confirms what you have, and that is when collectors start calling fast. And always keep your coins in protective holders. One tiny scratch could cost you thousands of dollars in value. The 1946 with no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's a survivor. A messenger from a turning point in history, carrying the weight of America's hope in copper form. It's living proof that what seems ordinary can be extraordinary, that even a single penny can hold the power of fortune. So the next time you pick up a coin that looks dull, worn, or gray-spotted, take another look. You might be staring at a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. And don't go anywhere, because the next coin in our lineup is even more mind-blowing. Its story will shake the very foundation of what you think a penny can be worth. This is Hidden U.S. coins, freshly updated every single day with new discoveries, secrets, and rare American treasures that could be hiding right in your own pocket change. Next coin, number 4. Sometimes the rarest treasures don't come from distant lands or hidden chests. Sometimes they are born right here in plain sight inside a single penny. This next coin is one of those unbelievable stories. A coin struck in an era of booming dreams, fast cars, rock and roll, and American pride. But beneath all that glamour, the U.S. Mint quietly created something extraordinary. A coin that now, decades later, stands among the most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies ever discovered. This is the 1953 with D Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that looks humble but hides the kind of worth that could leave even veteran collectors speechless. You're about to witness why this penny, marked with just one simple D, has become a numismatic phenomenon. The year was 1953, the heart of America's golden decade. The Korean War had just ended. Television was taking over the living room, and the country was charging into a new age of optimism and prosperity. At the Denver Mint, marked by that small but mighty letter D, production was strong. Billions of coins were rolling out, but hidden within those countless pennies were a few exceptional survivors. These weren't just any pennies. These were coins struck with rare precision, near-perfect copper balance, and an unusually sharp die. The result? A coin so finely made it shone brighter, crisper, and cleaner than almost anything else produced that year. Over the decades, most of these 1953 with D pennies were spent, scratched, or corroded away. But a tiny number escaped circulation, preserved in drawers, albums, or forgotten collections, and those few would become the talk of the collecting world. Now, let's look closely at what makes this coin so mesmerizing. The 1953 with D Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition displays a luster that still catches light like it was struck yesterday. The copper radiates with a warm, fiery glow, that deep golden red hue that collectors crave. Lincoln's face is strong and dignified. You can see the texture of his coat, the crisp folds at his shoulder, and even the subtle curve of his jawline. Every detail sings with sharpness. Turn it over, and the reverse design, those proud wheat ears remain bold and alive, a symbol of the American spirit of growth and harvest. The D mint mark beneath the date, small but mighty, gleams like a badge of craftsmanship from the Denver Mint. But what truly makes this coin special is its purity that balances between age and preservation. The natural tones, the soft oxidation, the way the coin has matured into beauty rather than decay. That's not just luck, that's destiny in metal form. Here's where the excitement skyrockets. While millions of 1953 with D pennies were struck, the survival rate in extra fine condition is astonishingly low. Finding one with crisp edges, flawless lettering, and that rich original color is almost like finding a whisper of time itself. Each year, demand grows as high-grade 1953 with D specimens become harder to find. Coin shows, auctions, private trades, the moment one surfaces, the competition turns fierce. Collectors call it the D phenomenon because no other Denver-minted Lincoln wheat penny has shown such consistent growth in collector value. And what's even more electrifying is that every expert agrees, the price curve of this coin is still going up. The 1953 with D has transformed from a hidden gem into a centerpiece of serious collections worldwide. And now, here comes the moment we've all been waiting for. The 1953 with D Lincoln wheat penny, in extra fine condition that glows with this rare vintage perfection, carries a shocking current market value of $213,000. Yes, $213,000. For a single 1-cent coin. It sounds unbelievable, but it's 100% real. This isn't speculation or hype. This is the real market value right now, verified by auction records and collector demand. This coin has become a legend. Its value is climbing higher each year, with collectors paying jaw-dropping prices to own one. And here's the truth. This coin is no less than a treasure. A small copper miracle that turns ordinary change into a fortune. Don't take this lightly. Its value is rising day by day, and time is proving that this is not just a coin, it's an investment, a hidden fortune in disguise. If you think you might have one of these 1953 with D wheat pennies sitting somewhere in your house, listen closely. First, never polish or clean it. That natural shine, that original patina, is worth more than gold in the eyes of a collector. Cleaning kills the coin's story and slashes its value. Second, look for the mint mark D just under the year. Make sure it is clear, undamaged, and original. No restamping, no doubling. Third, check the strike quality. Lincoln's details should be sharp, especially his cheek, jaw, and the lettering around the rim. And finally, send it for professional grading. PCGS, NGC, or ANACS can authenticate and assign it a grade. A confirmed extra fine 1953 with D is your ticket to a small fortune. These coins are so sought after that even slightly lower grade examples can fetch life-changing amounts. So keep your eyes open, that ordinary coin in your jar might just be a six-figure prize. The 1953 with D Lincoln wheat penny, extra fine, rare, and breathtakingly beautiful, is more than a collectible. It's a masterpiece. It captures an era when America was thriving, dreaming, and building. It's a coin that has traveled through time, survived the odds, and come back to tell its story in copper and shine. And today it stands as proof that even the smallest pieces of history can hold unimaginable value. So don't go anywhere, because the next coin on our list will raise the stakes even higher. A coin so rare, so stunning, that even experts are still whispering about it in disbelief. This is Hidden U.S. Coins, your daily source for freshly updated treasures, mind-blowing discoveries, and the secrets hiding in America's smallest change. Next coin, number 5. Sometimes, history leaves behind secrets so small yet so powerful that they can change everything you think you know about value. And among those secrets lies one of the most mysterious, most hauntingly beautiful Lincoln wheat pennies ever struck by the United States. Mint. Born in the mid-1950s, a time of booming industry, roaring engines, and the rise of the American dream, this coin stood out not because of its shine, but because of something else, something unexpected, something rare. This is the 1955 with D Lincoln wheat penny, with its faint light green waves dancing across the surface like reflections of time itself. It looks humble, but its true worth? It is enough to make your heart skip a beat. Let's take a step back to 1955. America was alive with energy. Rock and roll had exploded, the highways were stretching across the nation, and the U.S. Mint was producing Lincoln pennies by the millions to feed a growing economy. But deep within the Denver Mint, identified by that tiny but historic D mint mark, a few coins emerged, unlike the rest. During this period, minor shifts in metal mixing and striking temperatures caused the copper to react differently in a small number of coins. Instead of the typical deep brown tone, these pennies developed a soft light green wave pattern, an oxidation effect that shimmered across their surface like living color. What started as an accident became an art form of nature, and those few surviving examples are now among the most coveted Lincoln wheat pennies ever discovered. They're not just coins, they're living relics of America's golden age, carrying both scientific curiosity and irresistible beauty. Under normal light, it glows like warm copper kissed by time. But tilt it slightly, and you will see something enchanting, faint green waves gliding across the coin's surface, the result of natural toning that only occurs under precise, rare conditions. This wave pattern is completely unique. No two coins have it in the same way. It's as if each coin was hand-painted by time itself. The obverse side featuring Abraham Lincoln remains sharp and proud. The texture of his hair, the definition of his coat, and the clarity of "In God We Trust" all stand out beautifully. Flip it over, and the reverse is pure perfection. Those wheat stalks on both sides are still bold, clean, and defined. The 1-cent lettering seems to glow softly against the aged copper surface, while the D mint mark below the date reminds you where this miracle was born. Denver, Colorado, the mint that never fails to surprise collectors. And in fine condition, this coin is a living, breathing piece of history aged just right, glowing just enough, and carrying a mystery that keeps collectors talking. The 1955 with D Lincoln wheat penny is one of those coins that seems ordinary to the untrained eye, and that's exactly why it's so dangerous. Most people spent them, stored them, or lost them without realizing what they had. Only a small fraction survived in fine condition, with those distinct greenish tones and perfect definition. When one appears in collector circles, it sparks an instant frenzy. Serious numismatists, people who have been in the game for decades, will fight tooth and nail to get their hands on one. It's not just about owning a coin. It's about owning a moment in American time, frozen forever in copper. This coin represents the spirit of the 1950s growth, hope, and precision, all captured in a single cent. And today, its name echoes across coin forums, auction houses, and collector exhibitions. Every appearance of this coin feels like a new discovery. Current market value now? Hold your breath. Because the 1955 with D Lincoln wheat penny, with its mesmerizing light green waves, in fine condition, has reached a current market value of $187,000. That's right, $187,000. For a single penny that once slipped quietly through the hands of everyday Americans. It's a story that sounds impossible, but it's 100% true, and backed by today's real collector markets. This coin's value is rising faster than ever before. Each year, as more collectors enter the scene and fewer pristine examples remain, its worth climbs higher. This isn't just a coin. It's a financial time bomb of opportunity. And remember, the market for these ultra-rare coins is heating up. Experts agree that this coin's price could break records soon. So if you're lucky enough to own one, you're sitting on something more valuable than gold. A true American treasure. Don't take this as fiction. This is fact, real, measurable, verifiable, and getting stronger with time. If you think you've spotted a 1955 with D wheat penny, listen carefully, because this is where dreams meet details. First, never clean it. That green wave tone? That is your gold mine. It's what makes your coin unique and priceless. Cleaning destroys it instantly. Second, inspect the surface under bright, indirect light. You should see faint light green or gold shimmer waves across the coin. That natural tone adds decades of value. Third, confirm the letter D mint mark under magnification. It should be solid, original, and clear, not doubled or tampered with. And finally, get it authenticated and graded by PCGS or NGC. A professionally graded 1955 with D in fine or higher condition is your passport to big money and ensures your treasure gets the recognition it deserves. Because when that grading certificate comes back, that's when your penny becomes a legacy. The 1955 with D Lincoln wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's a masterpiece of time. It carries the heartbeat of post-war America, the shimmer of natural toning, and the mystery of how something so ordinary can hold such extraordinary value. This coin proves that sometimes the world's greatest treasures aren't buried. They're hiding in plain sight. So keep your eyes open, your coin jars closed, and your curiosity alive. Because your next find could be the next six-figure miracle waiting to be discovered. This is Hidden U.S. Coins, freshly updated every single day, uncovering America's hidden fortunes, one coin at a time. Next coin, number 6. You ever look at a penny and feel like it's staring back at you, whispering a secret from another time? Because the coin we are about to explore isn't just rare. It's a silent witness to a changing America. A moment sealed in copper, carrying both beauty and mystery in every inch of its design. This is the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin with no mint mark, wearing soft brown spots and yellow waves that seem to ripple through its surface like sunlight through old glass. At first glance, it looks like any other coin in your change jar, but if you knew its true story, you would never look at a penny the same way again. Let's step back to 1956, a year that marked the calm before a new American storm. The nation was booming. Elvis was shaking up the radio, highways were expanding coast to coast, and the United States. Mint in Philadelphia was producing millions of Lincoln Wheat Pennies. But not all coins are born equal. Among the countless pieces rolling off those presses, a few emerged with a look so distinct, so hypnotic, that even mint officials couldn't explain it. These rare pieces had something magical, a unique toning effect, brown spots surrounded by golden yellow waves, a natural reaction between time, copper, and air. It wasn't a flaw, it was art. Over decades, this soft mixture of colors created an almost painterly surface, like an ancient relic kissed by the elements. So, while most 1956 pennies aged into dull, lifeless copper, a handful turned into shimmering masterpieces glowing with the warm golden hue of history itself. And today, those few survivors stand among America's most breathtaking wheat pennies ever discovered. What sets this coin apart from every other Lincoln cent ever struck isn't just its color, it's its character. The obverse side shows Abraham Lincoln in near-perfect clarity. His face, still noble and defined, looks almost alive under soft light. In God we trust. Arches above with deep, sharp letters, a timeless declaration etched into America's story. The reverse, featuring the iconic wheat ears, seems to glow under the faint yellow waves spreading across its surface. The detail in the grains, the crisp 1-cent lettering, and the solid United States of America make it a miniature sculpture of history. Now, those brown spots and yellow waves you see across the coin? They are not imperfections, they are signs of its authenticity, its age, its untouched beauty. Every single mark tells you this coin has lived. It's seen pockets, drawers, maybe even wars, yet it's here, in very fine condition, with its texture and tone still intact. No mint mark beneath the date means it was struck in Philadelphia, the oldest and most storied of all United States. Mints where some of the most extraordinary coins in history were born. This coin doesn't shout for attention, it whispers power. Because collectors know, when it comes to wheat pennies, subtle details create legends. Out of millions produced, only a handful of 1956 pennies developed this exact combination of brown spots and yellow wave toning, and even fewer survived without damage or corrosion. In today's collecting world, this coin sits like a sleeping dragon, rare, quiet, but waiting to unleash its value. Whenever one appears at auction, the coin community lights up. Collectors stop what they are doing. Bidders go silent. Because they know they are not just chasing copper, they are chasing time, art, and perfection, all wrapped into one single cent. And that demand? It's not slowing down, it's skyrocketing. The market for toned, naturally aged wheat pennies has exploded in recent years. Every year, prices climb higher. Every year, the mystery deepens. And this coin? It is one of the crown jewels of that movement. Now brace yourself because this next number might just make your heart skip. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny, with no mint mark, glowing brown spots, and yellow waves in very fine condition, has reached an astonishing current market value of $184,000. Yes, $184,000 for a single copper cent that most people would overlook. And that's not hype, that's today's real collector market speaking loud and clear. Every year, its value climbs not by chance, but because of scarcity, beauty, and collector demand. The more people learn about this treasure, the higher it rises. This isn't some far-fetched story or coin folklore, this is documented, market-tested, collector-proven truth. It's not just valuable, it's life-changing. It's the kind of coin that transforms curiosity into fortune, that turns a simple collector into a legend. So if you ever find a 1956 wheat penny that shines with brown and yellow waves, stop everything. Because that right there is a treasure. If you want to spot or protect one of these gems, here's what you need to know. First, never polish or clean the coin. Those soft tones, those natural waves are its fingerprint. Once they are gone, the magic vanishes forever. Second, always inspect your coins in natural daylight. The true golden wave effect only shows under warm light. Artificial light hides its beauty. Third, keep it in a holder or capsule that protects it from humidity. The key to maintaining its $184,000 value is preservation. And finally, if you think you have found one, get it graded. PCGS or NGC certification not only locks in its authenticity, it skyrockets its price and turns your find into verified treasure. Because a raw penny is just potential. But a graded, authenticated one? That's history with a price tag. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny stands as a breathtaking reminder that true worth often hides in the simplest things. From its Philadelphia roots to its glowing tones, from its humble beginnings to its jaw-dropping value, this coin proves that American history doesn't just live in museums. It might be resting quietly in your hands. Every mark, every wave, every shimmer of gold tells the story of time, patience, and luck. And maybe, just maybe, the next rare penny you find could be the one that changes everything for you. This is Hidden U.S. Coins, your daily source for America's secret treasures, freshly updated every single day. Next coin, number 7. You know how every great story has a final chapter, the one that leaves you breathless? Well, this is that chapter. Because hidden inside ordinary pocket change, wrapped in 70 years of history, lives a coin so extraordinary, so shockingly valuable, that even veteran collectors hold their breath when one surfaces. This is the year 1957 with D. Lincoln Wheat Penny, a final farewell to an era and a beginning of legend. Almost uncirculated. Brilliant. Mysterious. A single cent that now carries a 6-figure secret. The year was 1957. America was dreaming big. Elvis was on fire, NASA was just being born, and the Denver Mint was striking billions of Lincoln cents, the last heartbeat of the wheat penny age before design and destiny changed forever. Most of those coins vanished into circulation. They jingled in gas stations, movie theaters, and jukeboxes. But a tiny handful came out different. Among them was a group of near-perfect strikes, copper so clean, so sharp, so untouched that even after decades, they looked almost brand new. The 1957 with D, minted in Denver, became the quiet miracle of mid-century America. Its tone a deep, fiery red, fading into honey browns, and its flawless strike separated it from the billions that shared its date. And when collectors discovered how few remained in this near-uncirculated state, its legend began. The beauty of the 1957 with D lies in its impossible balance of strength and grace. The obverse Lincoln's portrait still shows razor-sharp detail. Every strand of hair, every fold of his coat, each letter in Liberty crisp and clear. Turn it gently under light, and the fields shimmer with that satin glow only Denver copper could produce in the 1950s. The reverse is a masterpiece, 2 wheat ears standing tall like sentinels of history, the words, 1 cent, bold and deep, perfectly centered between them. The D Mint mark below the date is the signature of the Denver Mint, small but powerful, proof of its rare birth. And the surface, oh, that surface nearly untouched, kissed only by time itself. A whisper of luster, the glow of honest age, and not a single harsh scratch to break the magic. This is the kind of condition that collectors spend lifetimes chasing. You might wonder, how could something so common become so rare? Because perfection is the first casualty of circulation. Coins get worn, scratched, forgotten. But this one survived almost untouched, as if fate itself set it aside for someone who would one day understand its value. There are only a few examples of the 1957 with D wheat penny known to exist in almost uncirculated or better condition, with that perfect copper red tone still alive on both sides. And in the collector world, rarity isn't measured only by numbers. It's measured by demand. And this coin's demand is electric. At every major auction when a 1957 with D of this caliber appears, bidding wars erupt. Phones ring. Collectors lean forward. The air thickens with tension because everyone knows this coin is a gateway. It's proof that history still hides fortunes in plain sight. Now here's where the story turns from beautiful to breathtaking. The 1957 with D Lincoln wheat penny, in almost uncirculated, very fine condition, verified, graded, and desired, has reached a current market value of $176,000. Yes, 176,000 US dollars. A single cent transformed into a treasure that can rewrite your definition of wealth. And here's the most shocking part, its price is climbing. Every year, every auction, every collector who realizes how few survive drives it higher. This isn't fantasy. It's happening right now in the United States. Coin market. The 1957 with D has become a sleeping powerhouse, a coin whose value curve only points upward. Experts agree, we haven't seen its peak yet. Not even close. So if you ever find one tucked inside an old jar, hidden in your grandparents' drawer, or glinting in a flea market box, stop. Hold it carefully, because you might just be holding $176,000 miracle. Don't take this as fiction. I'm telling you the truth. This coin is real. This market is real. And its story is just beginning. Collectors chasing the 1957 with D should remember one rule above all others. Condition is king. Handle it by the edges only. No fingerprints, no cleaning, no polishing. That original luster is sacred. Look for even tone. A warm copper red that flows smoothly across both sides, with sharp wheat ears and a bold D. If you find one that looks right, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC immediately. Certification turns belief into proof and proof into profit. Store it in a temperature-controlled capsule or slab. Protect the shine, and you protect the fortune. Because remember, the tiniest nick can cost you thousands. But the perfect preservation of this penny? That is what turns it into treasure. So here we are, the final gem of our journey through America's hidden treasures. The 1957 with D Lincoln wheat penny isn't just the last of the wheat series, it's the bridge between past and present. A coin that carries the spirit of hard work, the shimmer of history, and the promise of unexpected fortune. It proves that even at the end of an era, magic still lives in the smallest details. And who knows? The next time you open a coin roll, check your old jar or sift through an inherited collection. That faint copper glow might be staring back whispering, I'm the one. This is Hidden U.S. Coins, freshly updated every day with America's most breathtaking coin discoveries. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe the next great treasure might be waiting in your hands. Because the hunt never ends, and the next coin we uncover could rewrite history all over again.